Hey guys, welcome to Monday night. Jason and the Simpademic back on the regular schedule here, and chapter 6 of the book will be. This is probably about where this one's going to land, because I kind of want to end off with this one, and I want to talk about the black pill channels, the men's channels, the MGTOW channels. Some examples include Men Only, Manosphere, Manhood, Cosmic Verse. I'm struggling to think of the other ones right now, but they are black pill man channels who promote MGTOW, and basically, if you watch the videos, you'll see that they have a good amount of hatred towards women, and so therefore they're also what's the word I'm looking for here? Anyway, they're women-hating channels, and they promote a type of disdain towards modern women. And so, unfortunately, these channels have one real goal, and that is to fuel your rage and to make you angry and make you upset and make you turn your back on half the human race. I went through my own temptations with this about a week ago. And I finally snapped out of it and just thought to myself, you know what, I can't rule out half the human race, even though I haven't had very much luck with half the human race. And so, but I've decided that I need to talk about, it's misogyny is the word I'm looking for here. These misogynistic channels, again, just fuel the rage, and again, I've been tempted with this before. I'm not going to lie. It's taken a lot of strength, and it's taken a lot of even digging into my own faith to realize what's wrong with these channels. They take small bits of things out of what women say, some of the most outrageous. They'll probably use AI to farm for their content, and I know that a lot of them use AI for their narration. And so what these channels do is they show women in the worst possible light. They'll show them looking for women that are 6 feet tall. They have to make at least 6 figures. If sometimes some of them are even like, I need them to make $200,000, $300,000 a year, and things like that. And they also cite things like the divorce laws and the way child custody works in those particular matters, and that they're basically gamed against men. And so men shouldn't even bother getting married because they're going to get taken for half of everything that they own and then some. They're going to get taken to the cleaners. I went through an amicable divorce because I fully realized that my marriage probably shouldn't have happened to begin with. And so, we came up with our own contract as far as time with our daughter is concerned. A thing that really basically stuck until she was 17, and just decided that she didn't want to spend as much time with dad anymore because I had gone through the traumatic brain injury. I personally believe that. She won't admit it, but I personally believe that scared her off from me. She did mention generic trauma in basic point, but so anyway, we had a very amicable agreement, and she did spend probably about 50% of her time with me up to that point. Which, going up to 17 is a pretty good record. It's a pretty fair record. I got a lot of time with her. I still do get a good amount of time with my daughter now that she's 20. Of course, she can make this decision herself, and she since has. I even had a good talk with her yesterday, and I think a lot of it does have to do with the little dogs that they have at the house, and I think because she's on the spectrum, she's developed quite an attachment towards those dogs, which are things that I don't have. So, anyway, I never experienced these things that those Manosphere channels have posted. I have experienced, gym filmers, social media chasers, TikTok filmers, and things like that. I have experienced that one. I have experienced being leveled with false accusations and things like that. And here's where the Manosphere channels and MGTOW get men. They don't start out misogynistic. They draw them in with the angle of protecting yourself. You know, it's like, okay, we're going to go our own way because we need to protect ourselves from false allegations, from a rigged divorce game, and from things like that. And so that's how men start down this path. Now, if you go into the MGTOW Reddit or subreddit slash MGTOW, you will see a world that will just shock your brains out. This group started out, with probably about 20,000 men. Now there's about 100,000 men on it. Hasn't really changed much. The needle hasn't moved much in the past year or two, but this subreddit is quite hateful towards women. And at first I thought it was kind of a joke that the Southern Poverty Law Center has labeled MGTOW as a hate movement, until you look for a little further and dig under the trunk a little bit, which I'm wont to do on a lot of things. This is a hate-filled pool. Most terrorists don't begin, thinking that they're going to be bombing skyscrapers either. They think that they're joining a noble cause, under the flag of Islam or whatever. And they think they're doing something great for God. People don't get recruited into cults because they think that they're going to be getting recruited into a cult. I know from personal experience. You get pulled into them because they offer you something, acceptance. They love bomb you, and they offer you acceptance on a level that somebody like myself had never seen before, being the son of of alcoholic and abusive parents. And they offer you a greater cause, quote unquote, to feel like you belong. That's the way it goes with these movements and these channels and with the whole MGTOW bit. I would tell you right now, as a man who has gone through the temptations, do everything you can to resist it. If you're a Christian man like myself, research your scriptures, which is exactly what I did. Or if you're looking at those channels like Manhood, Cosmic Verse, The Wall, Men Only, channels like this that are black pill channels to rage bait you, if you're looking to them as a means of finding a place to protect yourself from all these pitfalls with women and dating, seek out some other sources and just look at the whole picture. This is going to be a strong emphasis, as far as chapter 6 of this book is concerned. I get the temptation. I really do, because I've been there recently. All I got to look back a couple weeks to see where I was after I got in the situation with the 2 gyms. I was just like, women are out there trying to hurt me. I'm not even trying to pursue them because I really don't. I don't approach. But they objected to the content, some of the content on this channel, which I think is very balanced. In fact, I intentionally balance things out on this channel. But instead they had me thinking of whether I should jump into this very dark world or not. Prayerfully and thankfully I didn't. But I get the struggle, because I have fought it. I'm going to share my struggle with everybody, and hopefully a lot of people do buy my book. I'm looking at publishing options as well. If you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. Ever since I started mentioning this on my channel, I've actually gotten a lot of advertisements on Facebook, which is kind of making me a little scared, because it seems like the social media companies know everything about you these days. They see these channels and it's like, oh, let's pitch them a bunch of, book publishing links, advertisements, algorithm, let's just push them that way. My Facebook feed in particular gets flooded by this. So anyhow, that is going to be chapter 6 here, roughly, give or take. The Manosphere channels and MGTOW. and just imploring you to fight with every fight every temptation that you have to fall into these, and just don't do it. It's not worth it. I know a lot of great women in my life, and most of them are spoken for. They're in relationships or married, but obviously they did something right to get to that point now, didn't they? And if they were good enough to be married or engaged or whatever the case is, long-term relationships or whatnot, if those women are good enough to be in those positions, and I mean, I know a lot of the men that they have too, they're high-quality men. They're high-value men. Truly. Not necessarily high-earning men, although a couple of them actually are. But they are good, very good, very high-quality men with a lot of traits I would like to emulate at some point. So anyhow, don't believe the black pill. Don't believe the negativity. Don't let them rage fuel you and get you on the endless dopamine hit of rage and anger towards women. Just don't do it. That is the chapter on the Simpademic. Hopefully you got through your Monday okay. Folks, enjoy your Monday night. Waiting for a couple months before it's football season, and Monday night will be football night. Be really awesome. So anyhow, thanks guys for sticking with me to the end of this. You folks have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, homies.